What's up? What's up? Back at you again. So you see, you got the Warriors hat on. We doing some Warriors recap. So the first thing I want to really get into today is like the issue, or I wouldn't say the issue, but just the overall Draymond Green scenario or situation right now, where some people feel like Draymond is close to being washed or somewhere around washed. I would say I'm somewhat in that group, not totally. Like I feel like it could he could potentially get to where he needs to be as the season continues, but basically right now Draymond has been getting assists and having good assist numbers. Of course, he's getting the ball to Steph Curry on a lot of assists, and as of recent, and even in the Knicks game, he was really not being guarded at the top of the key. I noticed that, which it was allowing the Knicks to really hone in on Steph Curry and like really make Steph Curry work even more than he already does off ball. So, as we all know, the contract that Draymond's on is worth 100 mil. I think it may be 4 or 5 years. I don't know for certain, but basically, when a player like Draymond starts to go through what he's going through as a player, you have to start asking yourself, is Draymond's play worth what we're paying him? Now, of course, Draymond is not known to be an offensive player. He's not known to be a scorer, but I think at his best scoring cliff was like 14 points per game in that range. So right now, I think it's realistic for Draymond to bring you 10 points a game, maybe 12 a game, but 10 at minimum, especially when the Warriors really do need scoring when Steph Curry is the only person really giving them offense. So I think it's very key for Draymond to be able to give you those 10 points, maybe even 12 on a good night per game to overall keep the defense honest as well. Because now it's getting to a point where teams are leaving them wide open, where teams are literally not even concerned about him offensively because he wants to pass so much, and teams are aware of that. And it's not to say that Draymond needs to go out and start, shooting 10, 15 times a game, but having that balance, which everybody gives him that credit for, he's such a cerebral player and a smart player. So he needs to be able to have that balance of let me keep you honest enough to guard me, but still do my thing and assist and facilitate. Because Draymond is, outside of Steph Curry, the best facilitator on the team. But that's not saying much when there's really no other true ball handler on the team outside of Steph Curry. So in Draymond, I would he's he facilitates more from the top of the key. He's not really dribbling and using his ball handling or penetration and things of that nature to get somebody open. But a lot of people give Draymond credit for his assists, but you also have to factor in he throws 3 to 4, careless passes a game where it's like, okay, that probably wasn't the best pass to make in that scenario, and you got a KYP, which is know your personnel. So sometimes you trying to throw a pass on a fast break to somebody, and it's like they're not really ready for that pass, bro. And you got to know that. Like maybe Steph is because you got that chemistry with Steph, and y'all played for so long, y'all got that rapport on the court. But a lot of these players, that's their first time playing with you. You can't throw on those passes like that. So Draymond to get you 10 assists, but also I feel like for almost every turnover or two, you got to eliminate an assist almost because it's like you're going and giving the advantage to the opposing team. So Draymond is a great assist person for the Warriors. Draymond does get you those assists, but we can't overlook the turnovers that he gets you, and then the fact that especially this season and even before with Clay as well, but Steph is drawing so much attention and defenses are honed into Steph so much. It's like at certain points in the game where it's like an average player, like I can go and get that assist for you if you need me to, because they're wide open off back screens and back cuts, because they're running different actions. And Steph Curry, everybody's drawing to Curry. They're not even thinking about other players. It was a play last night where I think it was like Oubre and another player was wide open under the rim because of some action that they ran with Steph Curry to try to get him out to the corner, and it was just wide open underneath the rim. So he gets a lot of those too, and then he does that overpassing or that thread in the needle. trying to thread the needle, which he can do. And it's like, of course, Draymond's going to have some turnovers, but it's the careless turnovers along with the fact that you haven't been giving much offense. It starts to become an issue. It starts to become this conundrum where, yes, I do need you because you have that connection with Steph and you have that rapport with Steph. Yes, I need you because you do move the ball and you can direct people where to go offensively, but you're doing all this direction and all this passing, and we need you to sprinkle in more scoring, especially with the Warrior situation right now, and just with their inability to really get anybody outside of Wiggins, Steph, and Oubre, and then Wiseman came back, gave the Warriors 14 last night, had a good game, and I think 14 or 16 minutes, gave you 14 points, so had a good game. But overall, the Warriors are going to have to start considering what's the next move with Draymond. Do you keep Draymond because he's a staple to the former championship teams and because of his relationship with Steph Curry, Steve Kerr, and Klay Thompson? Or do you move on from Draymond and find someone else who can facilitate enough and be Draymond-ish enough, like a Juan Toscano-Anderson? So the Warriors are going to be, and of course, Juan Toscano-Anderson is not Draymond, like I said, be Draymond-ish, be able to stand at the top of the key, move the ball around, be able to build a rapport with Steph and know when and how to screen for Steph and get Steph the ball. Draymond does particular things well, but I feel like these are things that can be taught because he's no longer giving you the elite defense. He's no longer as much of a game changer on defense. Is Draymond still solid on defense? Yeah, Draymond's solid. Draymond's solid, He's going to direct people defensively, get people in the right positions and things of that nature, rotate well at times, but he's still not what he used to be. And you're starting to see he's almost losing a step. You're starting to see you getting into your early 30s, and now your body's not what it used to be. You never really had your body all the way right. It never seemed from afar. You're getting older now. It's looking like you losing some athleticism when you never really were a super athletic player or never played off athleticism or relied on it from jump. That's not the foundational core of your game. So Draymond's game is starting to diminish. His temper tantrums have cost the team potentially the last New York game before last night. That could have been a loss as well. So, or you could have accounted that to Draymond's temper and getting texts and all of that as well. So the risk versus reward with Draymond is starting to this is way stuff right. Yeah, didn't right. He made a Shaq and a fool appearance. Like Shaq said, you pulling up from Steph Curry range with Steph Curry right next to you. But hey, so and nobody's perfect. We're not expecting Draymond to be perfect. And I don't want people to think I'm a Draymond hater because if you really know, Draymond is a great glue piece. If you really watch the team, Draymond is literally a core part of the team, but his play is deteriorating to the point where if you're not even going to try to score, defenses don't have to play honest. If you're not going to try to score, defenses can work to clog up passing lanes. So you gotta do more thread the needle passes and wide open passes because you're not making yourself an offensive threat and pulling in defenders. You're not dragging or getting the attention of defenders. So you're making things harder even for yourself to facilitate because you don't want to attack. You don't want to shoot. Or you do it at a level to where they're not respecting it enough to truly play you honest. So that's what we need from Draymond. It's no hate, like many people have said on wax. I feel like if Draymond hadn't got ejected in the finals, the Warriors would have had a great shot. Draymond went crazy in one of those last finals games. I think it was that series. He had 30-something. He almost had a triple-double. So Draymond, if he can get back to that, or if he can get somewhat like that, I think they should definitely keep Draymond for the long term, or at least keep him until his contract expires. Maybe get him on a lower deal and keep him around because of the relationship and the overall rapport and longevity with the team. But if Draymond cannot start to increase his scoring ability, if Draymond cannot start to look like you leaning up and getting your body right to really prepare yourself to give what you need to defensively, this year is somewhat of a wash. So maybe Draymond is just trying to get his footing back and get all the way back right, and we'll see the real deal Draymond Green that he knows, because Draymond knows what he needs to do. Draymond knows he needs to score more. Steve Kerr knows he needs to score more, but Steve Kerr is a coach. He's not going to come out there and say that, Draymond somewhat to be in denial sometimes, even about when he came and kind of made the apology. Sometimes he kind of It's like, dude, you shouldn't have got neither one of those texts. You know, both of those texts are unwarranted based off the time and the situation in the game. So Draymond Def has to get his mind right offensively and start to attack and take more shot attempts. You know what I'm saying? You got to make him play you honest, and he knows that, and Steve Kerr knows that. But he does do other things for you. Like I said, he may not be locking up and rotating as fast as he once did and being able to guard two players in one area like he once was before or at the same level, but he'll get the defensive positioning right, get the play calls and things right. He's a great asset in other areas, but he really needs to start to look to score. You can't just kind of help the defense out, keep people in defensive positioning, pass the ball to Steph Curry and people that's wide open because of the gravity Steph Curry draws, and building the contract that you're on and really fully help this team. This team needs scoring from pretty much everybody, not named Steph Curry, Oubre, Wiggins, and Wiseman. When Wiseman was a somewhat up and down a little, he was giving you 10 to 15 a game here and there, but Wiseman has shown he can get you buckets too. We know Damian Lee, he's streaky. I like number 15. I think his last name is Mueller. I like him. He usually always hits. It's crazy. He get the ball first shot, boom, hitting. So I like him too. So we're gonna see where the Warriors go. Let's do a quick with Draymond. Of course, last night was a great game. Kind of Warriors weren't really executing like that in the fourth. It does happen. Steph Curry came in a few minutes earlier than he usually does in the fourth quarter. Steve Kerr is very strict about those minutes that they play Steph, and it's wild that they're strict on his minutes. I just seen something saying LeBron is leading the league in minutes right now, so it's just out of control. LeBron is something else. So they watch Steph's minutes. Of course, Steph is not the physical specimen of LeBron, so pretty much solid contributions all the way around. Good, solid game from most of the players. I mean, Draymond does give you 12 assists. You can't be mad at that. He does hit 1 3-pointer, and he took some attempts. He took 9 attempts, so that's good. And had 7 points. That's right in that range. That's right in that 10-point range. Wiggins gives you 16. Oubre gives you 19. And then, of course, Wiseman with the 14 off the bench. Looked real solid off the bench. Want to see Wiseman start to rebound more. Haven't really seen him crash the glass and really get rebounds. So want to see him start to crash the glass and get more rebounds and really take advantage of his height and his jumping ability. But the Warriors will play Indiana next. I'm looking for another big game from Steph Curry. He'll need it. We'll see moving forward if Draymond Green's play gets any better. We'll see moving forward if he looks like he should be in the long-term plans, or if the Warriors may need to really consider finding ways to really maximize his minutes and then get another player in who can potentially do things Draymond-ish, or just somebody who's going to just score and start to maneuver how much you play Draymond. So I think this season will be big in seeing where Draymond is going to be in the Warriors' future plans, and ideally, maybe potentially, he's holding back a little bit so that he can have the gas for when Klay comes back. But even when Klay comes back, I still feel like the Warriors are going to need that pick and need to be able to do something with that pick, potentially move that pick and get something for it, because I think even with Klay coming back, they still are going to need a little bit more for sure. So we're going to see. Klay gives you a lot, but you don't want to over rely on Klay coming back and being that same Klay after 2 years off. They probably got another, Steph and Klay, they're shooters, so you may be able to get 3 to 5, good solid years out of them. Maybe prime to subprime years out of them, but the Warriors are on limited time with this roster, with this core, and with the ability to make a championship run. So we'll all be tuned in. I appreciate anybody who sat and watched the video, and please subscribe to the channel. We'll be coming out with more Warriors game recaps and just different Warriors news and topics and things to talk about in regards to the Warriors. All right, have a nice day. Appreciate it.